Excited to talk to you guys today about the buyer's list and some really cool things. You're going to want to grab something to take some notes. I'm going to even share a couple of like visuals with you guys today. Like I'm going to pull up my screen and show you guys some things that we have inside of our program. I want to show you so you guys can screenshot, or maybe you can request them and we'll give them to you. Who knows, right? We can get generous sometimes over here. Okay, so okay, number one, I just want to remind you guys, holy moly, Sales Accelerator's open. I'm not kidding when I say get over there, get in there. It's only $67 a month. There's no contract, no commitment. Y'all can cancel anytime you want. I know you won't, but you can. There's really no risk to this. We are literally helping you generate sales. Like we're going to get your sales foundations and strategies dialed in, doubled down, locked in. That's the only thing we're doing over there. So there's no reason in this world every human over there is not making sales every week, every month, every day, whatever it is that you want. Get over there at that founder's rate, you guys, before the price goes up. Also, like I mentioned, we are doing an event on the 23rd this month. And we're literally going to work with you for 4 or 5 hours. There will be a replay, but if you could be live, we're literally going to find the first 50 people for your buyers list. Like we're going to help you live in real time do this with the audience you currently have. We're going to help you do that. It's our Build It, Work It, Convert It live intensive. We're going to show you how to pick up and scoop up those buyers that are sitting in plain sight right under your nose right now. And then we're going to show you how to use our word tracks, which are, I can't even tell you, like millionaires are like using these and they're like, wow. But we've been doing these for 10 years. They work. Hi, Rosh. Rosh is here. So Rosh is in our Sales Academy program, and Rosh knows firsthand those sales sprint campaigns and word tracks work like amazing. And he can vouch for that. But definitely, you guys, we're going to help you use those so that you don't have to be like, what do I say? And who do I say? And blah. We're doing it with you. When you leave this intensive, you're going to have conversations happening, sales happening. You're going to learn these new strategies. It's fire, right? For $67 a month, I mean, you'll earn that 50 times over in that short little time. And then you get live access starting in August, right, Sydney? Yeah, the month after, you get 2 live calls a week or a month. You're going to have a community. So you're going to have coaching and support and guidance as we continue to grow. So it's just amazing. We do have the one-time $597 if you want to pay for the whole year. And then you'll get into our Black Friday offer annual virtual event. You can come into that. And we spend another 4 or 5 hours and we literally create and automate all of your emails, all your social posts, and your offer for Black Friday. We do this every year. Our clients can't wait till October to do this. But it's amazing. And sales come in while you're on the holiday. Yeah, okay, Sydney, you already dropped the time in there for that. Perfect. Hopefully that works for everybody. But keep in mind there is a replay if you can't make it. And then you'll have access to get support from Sydney and I. Watch the replay, come back and get our feedback on everything, come back, get our questions. Of course, we'll help you if you can't be there live. So Sydney, can you drop the link in the chat for the Sales Accelerator? Also, just welcome for those that have already joined, because we've had some people pop in already. So super excited. Okay, guys, let's get into it. You're very welcome. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about building a buyer's list. Take out pen and paper, because I'm going to give you guys, it's jam-packed today. I'm going to give you a lot of information in a short amount of time, but I promise you, if you did even 2%, 1% of anything we teach you throughout this workshop, you'll make sales and you're that much further along, I promise. Okay, so most people, and you guys can, raise your hand or let me know if you identify with this, but most people right now feel like the reason they're not generating more sales is that they have a visibility problem. Right? Like I'm not visible enough. Maybe I don't have enough leads. Maybe I don't create enough content. Maybe I'm not out there enough. Maybe I don't put out enough like good, valuable stuff. Most people that come to us feel like it's that. And like, I need more leads, or I need higher quality leads, right? Like the people in my audience maybe aren't buyers. And they're showing up, they're launching. I'm sure many of you guys post content, go live. We talked about this yesterday. You probably launch. You probably are doing those things. And we're just like, where are the sales? Most people are like, where are those sales, right? That's what I want to talk about. And I'm going to say, you do not need a funnel. For those of you sitting here that are like, I'm building a funnel, or maybe you built one because someone told you to, and there's no sales coming from that funnel, you do not need a funnel. You do not need ads. If you're putting money on paid ads right now, I can promise you, like a stamp of approval, money in the bank, I can promise you, I can show you how to make more money and you can turn those ads off. You won't lose a penny. I promise you I can do that. You don't need ads. You can do it. None of these things are bad. I'm saying you don't need to. You do not need more leads. Chances are you can have anywhere from probably $300,000 to $500,000 sitting in a very small audience that you have right now. Maybe even a $7-figure, $1 million number sitting in the current audience that you have right now. Do you need more leads? Maybe. Do you need higher quality leads? Sure. Don't we all? Maybe. But do you need all of that to generate sales today, this week, this quarter, this month? No, you don't. You could do it with the audience you have right now. The problem is so many entrepreneurs are spreading themselves far and wide. It's like, oh, I have this many people on email, I have this many on LinkedIn, this many in a Facebook group, I have this many friends on my profile. You know what I mean? Like you're spreading yourself so far and thin, and you're looking at all of your people as buyers. But here's the news: all of the people that you have in your network are not buyers. That's the reality, right? They're not all buyers. And so if you're spreading yourself across all this stuff and you're like, you wake up every day and it's like, okay, I don't know, I have all these people in all these places. Where are my sales? This is where the buyers list comes in. You're still going to use social media, guys. You're still going to use email, right? Because we have to grow an audience, but you got to pull out the people that are showing you those buyer behaviors, and you've got to get them on a buyer's list. And that is step one. Obviously, step two is, what do you do with them once you get them on the buyer's list? But the first thing is you got to start a buyer's list, right? Because you need to wake up and you need to be able to go, boom, these are my buyers. And you see a name and you see a face. And then you see anything that you've been doing with them. You see their buy-in behaviors. You see where are they at in the buyer cycle, right? And then you know what to do with the leads, where to spend your time, who's closest to buy-in. And you're getting your buyers over the finish line instead of looking at all your leads, which are not buyers, and saying, should I post something in my Facebook group today about my offer? Should I email piece of value today, or should I email a pitch? I don't know. I got all these people. That's not a good sales strategy, right? So here's how you're going to start to build your buyers list the right way. And we talked about this a little bit yesterday, about it not being your email list and not being everyone that is on your social media. It's that curated group of people that you've cherry picked intentionally, and you put them on, and you said name, right? So Sydney, I'm going to put her on my buyers list, right? Sydney is in DMs with me. She's answered my questions. She registered for my workshop. She said she was interested. She's asked me questions. And then I look and say, okay, so here's what I know about Sydney. What did I do last to nurture her and build trust and get proximity? Looking at that and then saying, great, so what do I do next? And it's intentionally moving her through that process. We teach you this in the Sales Accelerator, because having an audience, you guys, what is more leads going to do for you? More leads doesn't equal more money. You got to know how to move, qualify, convert. You got to know what to do with those leads, right? And so it starts with a buyer's list, and then you work your way through each one of them, moving them through the cycles, right? 9 behavior, we went through that yesterday, the 9 micro behavior signs. You want to look for those in the leads you're putting on the buyer's list. And if they're not good leads, if they're not, like if you're chasing them around and there's no proximity and they don't meet these micro behaviors, take them off your buyer's list, right? Because they're going to eat up your time and energy. And when you say yes to one thing, guys, you're saying no to another, right? So if you say yes to a lead that you're chasing around and you're praying buys, but that person isn't really ready and qualified, but you're really hanging on it, maybe because they gave you a verbal yes or they checked some of your boxes, but then you have this person over here that's doing those little itty bitty micro behaviors and you don't really see it, because you're so down in the weeds about this one person that gave you a verbal yes. And you're like, oh, and you're hanging on it, right? When you say yes to that, you're saying no to the person over here who is like showing you those subtle micro little behaviors, and you're not seeing it, and you're losing sales and opportunity because of this. Does that make sense to everybody? Right? Like, this seems to make sense. Okay. All right, so let's talk about the top 12 places that your buyers are already hiding out. And I want you guys to really, really think about each one of these, because at the end, I'm going to have you pick one that you're going to focus on after you leave here and when you leave here today. You don't need to try all of these, but I do want you to think about like one of these that you could do. Okay, if you're watching us in Facebook, come in the room. But if you are watching on Facebook, just like comment and stuff in the chat so we can see you. If you have questions or want to share anything, and we'll communicate with you there. We have it up as well. Okay, top 12 places. Number one, we talked about this one yesterday, opening multiple emails. I want you guys to filter your emails. So here's what I do every day, at least once a day. I'll filter my email and I'll look for the people that are opening my emails, and I'll look at their activity and see who's opening emails multiple times, who's opening every email, who's opening one email so many times. Like, I want to go see who's doing that. And then I add a tag for those people that let me know that this person is somebody that I want to pay attention to. And then I'll put them on my buyers list. Really simple, right? Every day, wake up and just do that if you're sending emails. I don't care if you have 10 people on your email list, you guys. You do not, how many sales do you guys think you need to hit your sales goals? Not very many. You know, one pay in full or a couple of sales could be game changer for some of you, depending on what you're charging. You don't need a lot. So I don't care what the number is of what you've got sales in there. You got to work them though. You can't just email and pitch. You have to work the leads the right way. So I want you to look, that's number one. Every day, just create a task for yourself to go and filter the emails to see who's doing those micro behaviors. Number two, anybody signing up or registering for anything. And guys, I want you to go 4 to 6 months back. Go 4 to 6 months back. So in the last 4 to 6 months, who has signed up or registered for anything? You guys get them on a buyer's list, okay? You'll pull those and put them on your buyer's list. Number three, anyone who's ever filled out some kind of application or form, whether it was for a free thing, whether it's for a paid thing, for a call, sales call, clarity call, discovery call, whatever, you know, everybody calls it something different. It could have been for some kind of assessment or a quiz. I don't care what it was. Anybody who's ever filled out any form or application, put them on your buyers list. Okay? Okay. Number four is anyone visiting your sales page. If you have a sales page, or really, you can insert any page if you don't have a sales page. Anyone who has visited a page, okay, sales page, registration page, anything like that, I want you to add those people to your buyers list. So pull those people up, and I want you to put them on your buyers list, okay? Number five, anyone who's ever hit your order forms. So if you have an order form somewhere, or if you ever did, and I want you to go 4 to 6 months back. Okay, 4 to 6 months back, and anyone who's ever hit the page. Now, they could hit your order page and probably didn't buy, right? And you're like, oh, you went there though. That is a small micro buying behavior. So anyone who's ever hit an order page, I want you to put those people on your buyers list, even if it was one person. Okay. All right, number 6. You guys might not believe it, but past clients. Write it down. Go back as far as you can go back. Number 6, past clients. Okay. If you have anyone you've ever worked with in all of your existence, go back to them, because in Sales Accelerator, what we teach you is if those people are no longer your ideal clients, or if those people are like, no, I'm not interested, guess what? They probably have a referral. They probably know someone that they could send your way or connect you with. And we teach you how to have that conversation. So do not assume that because they're past, that they would not buy from you again. That is so not true. Okay. Awesome. We are halfway through the list. We got 6 more to go. Hands up, everybody's tracking with me. We doing good? I know you guys are writing these down as fast as you can, and I'm going quick, but everyone let me know you're good. To keep going? Okay, perfect. Okay, number 7. Another one you might be really surprised about. Current clients. We want you to write down and put on your buyers list the people that you have right now that you're working with who are paying you. And I don't care what they're buying, and it doesn't matter what they're paying you. Okay, that's irrelevant. I want you to put them on your buyers list, because there's so many ways that you can help the current people that you're working with accelerate and expand and multiply what they're doing, or where they're stuck and it's slowing them down in your program, and you can help them speed up. There are so many ways that you can do this, and there are a lot of ways you can upsell current clients. You'd be surprised. Okay, we just did this in our program. We do it all the time, but we just upsold a couple clients. We have clients we've upsold into VIPs with us. We have clients that we upsold into a done for you item that we did for them. There's all kinds of things, and thousands of dollars, guys, come in from current clients. Do not assume that because they're in one thing, paying you one thing, that they want nothing else. Okay, we'll teach you guys how to sell to current clients. Okay, number 8 is referrals. I want you to go back to any referral that you have ever received that did not buy from you. They didn't end up joining or whatever. I want you to go back, and I want you to add those people onto your buyers list. Okay, I want you to put those people on your buyers list. Okay, all right, number 9, any past sales conversation. Any conversation that you've had with someone, so that maybe they filled out a Calendly and they got onto your calendar and booked a call with you. Maybe it was a clarity, discovery, or sales call. Go back 4 to 6 months. Make sure you write that down. I want you to go back 4 to 6 months on those. And I want you to go back, and we're going to put those on your buyers list. So they probably had some kind of conversation with you and then either ghosted, gave you an objection, or they just didn't buy from you for whatever reason. We're going to put those on your buyers list. Okay. Number 10, this may not be applicable to everybody, but if you have a Facebook group, how many here have a Facebook group? Does anybody here have a Facebook group? Show of hands. Anybody have a Facebook group? Okay, so if you have a Facebook group, do you have member questions? If anybody answered those, put them on your buyers list. Put them on your buyers list. This is, oh my God, I can't believe how many people, we work with a lot of people who have a Facebook group. A lot of our clients are also on LinkedIn, but I'm on LinkedIn. I love LinkedIn. And actually, we're coming out with a really cool training very soon on how I use LinkedIn to close a lot of sales and do hardly anything over there. It's really, really cool. But if you have a Facebook group, I notice a lot of my clients will create a Facebook group and they'll set up these member questions, which are not strategic and they're not intentional and they're not helping you qualify and they're not going to help you close sales or start conversations. Needless to say, even when people answer them, my clients are like, I haven't done anything with them. They answer the questions and I've done nothing with them. So I want you to put those on your buyers list because you need to work those leads. That information they give you, if your questions are strategic and intentional, is a gold mine for starting a sales conversation very quickly. Okay. All right. Number 11, we talked about this one yesterday. Any viewers, hearters, likers, commenters on either your stories or live videos. It's a complete waste of time to even go live or do a story if you're not going to follow up with the people viewing hearting, liking, commenting, engaging. Okay. So anyone doing those, put those on your buyers list. All right, the final one. Number 12, anybody reaching out and asking you questions. So questions could be about your program, could be about who you work with. It could be about how you help people. They could be asking, how could you help me? Do you think you could help me? What would helping me look like? They could be asking questions about your free content that you're putting out, right? They could be doing things like that. So make sure you're doing that. You're reaching out and you're asking, or you're putting anyone that's asked you questions, get them on your buyers list. Okay. These are people that are doing those micro behaviors. They're reaching out. If they're taking time to ask you questions, you guys, they are interested to some degree. And if you don't work them quickly and you don't follow up with them, then they're just going to go and ghost and they're going to fall off your radar and you're going to lose a possible sale. Okay. So make sure that anyone that's reached out and asked you any questions, make sure that you get those people onto your buyers list. Okay. Now, I do want to say this. A buyers list is just a list of people. It's a list of leads that you're just looking at and don't know what to do with them. If you don't have a process for how do I communicate to each lead based on the buyer behavior, based on where they're at in my buyer cycle. Do you guys have a buyer cycle? Like it's a few steps and that's your buyer cycle. It's how we take someone from cold to client. This is another system we teach inside of our program. How do you bring a cold lead to a paying client? How do you go from, hi, I just met you, to, hey, here's my credit card? How do you do that? What's the middle process? What are the 4 or 5 steps that you do Monday through Friday, every day with every single lead? It's a rinse repeat cycle. If you guys don't have that, we'll teach you that in the accelerator. But you have to have a way to qualify, work, convert, build trust with this buyers list, right? You can't just have a buyers list and then not know what to do with them. Then you're just having another list of people. It'd be no different than your email list, right? So you have to know what to do with them. Okay, now what I want you guys all to do in the chat is just drop in one of these that you're like, I could totally do that and scoop up some people and get them on my buyers list. What one of these? Just one. Maybe you can do more, but just list one that you're going to do today. So you're going to leave here today and you're going to go pull those people, stick them on a buyers list, right? Share which one is probably the one that you think you could do today. Right? You don't have to do them all. Awesome. Devin says number 1. Okay, so Devin, you are going to people opening multiple emails. Yes. For the love. Yes. Let's do that. That is a great one. Okay, Susie says current clients. Heck yes. Oh my gosh. Yes, yes, yes. I will tell you, it's a gold mine in there. You would be, so think about anyone renewing, right? Coming up close. Oh, it's Alicia. Oh my gosh. Cindy and I are calling you. Well, I think the divine is magical, so I love it. Okay, awesome. Good to know.
We've been like, oh yeah, Georgia was there, Devin was there.
We will update that in our system.
It's
So
Alicia.
I love it. Okay, cool. Awesome. Okay. So yesterday I told you today, right? I'm going to show you how do you identify a buyer versus a brain picker. Do you guys remember we talked about that a little bit yesterday, right? Where you're going to have these people that are like super engaged and really plugged in and signing up and opting in for everything, not necessarily buy-in, right? But they're like commenting and engaging. And if you ask them a question, they answer and they're just so available. Right? And then you have the other side where it's like, hello, anybody there? We have like these 2 people, right? Well, I want you to, I'm going to show you and share my screen. I want to show you the difference in the behavior of a brain picker and the difference between a buyer. Because I want you to know, it's just a subtle but so obvious difference. And then I'm going to share with you, I'm going to pull up my screen again. And I'm going to share with you guys the 5 qualifying markers. We teach this in every one of our programs, even with millionaires and their sales teams, like no joke. There's 5 things that you need to look for in every lead that you talk to that's going to tell you their buyer readiness. Like, is it 0 or is it like 100? So we'll share that after. First, let me share this here first. I'm going to come over here and pull this little bad boy up. Let me share my screen. Hopefully you guys can see it. Can you guys see this? I can even make it bigger. Boom. I made it bigger. Okay. We are not techie over here, guys. All right. Buyer versus brain picker. Anybody want this little image? Or to be helpful to just have this so you can like maybe print it or put it. Okay. We'll get it over to you guys so you can have it. A buyer. A buyer is going to ask outcome-based questions. Okay, so someone who is thinking and considering about buy-in, they're going to ask you questions that are based on outcomes. A brain picker is going to ask process questions. Any of you guys get like that person who's like, can I see testimonials? Can I talk to your clients? Can I see a podcast? What time are the calls? What day are the calls? How many sessions per month? How many this? What's in the curriculum? What are the titles of the curriculum? Like, you get these people that it's like, none of that has anything to do with the outcome that I'm helping you get. You guys see the difference in that? That's the difference. Someone who is a buyer is not asking a bunch of those. They may ask you after they're sold, like after they're like, oh my God, this sounds amazing. They might say, when are the calls, or what do I need to put in my calendar as far as calls? You see, they'll ask you in a very like buyer professional way. Whereas a brain picker's like, well, I don't know. I'm not making money, but I'm also so busy. And I just don't know if I have time for the calls. Like, are they 12 minutes, 45 minutes? Like, how many times? You see what I'm saying? Huge difference, you guys. When you're talking to people, you should be listening for this stuff. Pay attention to this. It's going to tell you a whole bunch about the type of person you're about to sign, right? And how many of you have signed a brain picker into your program? Because they will pay you sometimes. And then they get in and you're like, what was I thinking? What did I do? I knew it. I knew I shouldn't have done it, right? We've all been there. We've all done that. This is how you eliminate that. Okay, a buyer is going to show up again and again, but usually very quietly. Your best buyers, guys, are not loud and proud. I promise you, they're not loud and proud. They silently stalk, they quietly watch, and when they reach out to you, they're ready to buy. They will not soak up your time in the DMs or on calls to ask you a million questions. They will figure it all out, and when they're ready to pull out a credit card, that's when they reach out to you. A brain picker circles around again and again and again, and they never buy no matter what you say, no matter what you do, no matter what you show them, no matter how many questions you answer. They just circle like a shark, right? But they never buy. A buyer is going to follow through and take action quickly once they've made their decision. When a buyer says, I'm in, I'm pumped, how do I sign up? Send me the link. Let's do this. Yes, yes, yay, I'm in. When a buyer does that, they make the payment, they sign up, they're ready to go. A brain picker lingers in indecision, and they tend to always be thinking about it, right? You follow up, yeah, I'm thinking, yeah, I just need a few more days. Yeah, I'm thinking like next month, this month is busy. Hello, welcome to $1 Million Life. Everybody's busy. When are you not busy, right? Like, they give you these objections and excuses, and they're like always thinking about it. They just linger. Okay, a buyer asks, how do I sign up and get started? And a brain picker says, is there a cheaper way? Anyone here ever put like I'm just going to give an example. Anybody here ever put out like a $97 offer or some low ticket? Have you ever done that and had someone come back and say, is there a payment plan? And you're like, on $97? I mean, not really. We have literally had that. way in the past. And that was long before we did all of this work here, where we pay attention. We don't get down in the weeds with brain pickers, right? We're not available to do that. We are available for buyers. So if you have outcome questions, and if you're going to follow through when you say you're going to follow through, we're all about it. But if you're going to linger and circle around and think about it and have a million questions, and no matter what we do, it's not enough, you're not ready to buy, right? You don't need a payment plan on a $97 offer. That's an internal issue. So again, you want to be paying attention, guys. And we will get these docs to you, I promise. That little image. We'd really prefer like pull it out, have it close by where you can reference and remind yourself, like, I'm looking for these types of people, not these kinds of people. And aren't those subtle little things? But when you think about it, you're like, so many people have said those things or done those things, and I've given my time and energy to those people. Wasting your time, right? Okay. Everyone feel good so far about what we've gone through? Is the buyers list getting clearer? But are we getting even more clear on our boundaries and standards and values around who gets our time and energy? Right? Are we upgrading that? We're like, wow, we are no longer available for the brain picker energy. We are speaking to buyers, we are talking to buyers, and we are available for buyers, right? We're going to upgrade, make that commitment to yourself. Even if you're like, oh, I need the sale, trust me, it isn't worth it on the other end. It's not even worth it. Hold your standards really, really high, you guys. Okay, now let's talk about the 5 qualifying markers. This is extremely critical, you guys, that when you are in conversation with your buyers list, you want to make sure that you're comparing them and what they're saying and how they're saying to these 5 things. I'm going to share my screen. This is a doc that's pulled out of our Sales Academy program because it's a big part of what we teach. So we're going to walk through these 5, okay? You might not be able to see those, but we'll go through the docs and we'll get you this after. But we'll go through the things. Okay. Qualifying marker number 1, okay, is problem awareness. Write that down. Problem awareness. What does that mean? It means I want you to focus on, when you're talking to a lead, is this person aware that they have a problem? How many times have you talked to someone like, no, you know what? I'm actually really good. I'm doing really good with that. And you're like, in your mind, you're like, clearly you're not, because you're signing up for my stuff. You're talking to me about how you want more of that, yet you're saying you're good with that. Or they're very resistant to admitting that they have a problem. You guys ever talk to those people? They're just not like, here's my problem. This is what's going on, and I need help, right? Not everybody does this. 95% or more are just not going to probably be like, oh, I have this problem and blah, blah, blah. So qualifying market number 1, you will not make a sale, guys. You're not going to get a sale out of someone who doesn't think they have a problem that needs to be solved. Right? Does that make sense? Here's the other thing. Even if they have a problem and they tell you they have a problem, if they don't think the problem is risky and big enough, they're not going to pay money for a solution to it. Can we get an amen on that? We can agree to that. I mean, we can all sit here and say, even if I have a problem, if that problem is not a burning fire and it's only a little tiny spark, chances are it's not big enough for me to pay you money to solve it yet, right? Because most people put money toward problems when the problem goes from a tiny spark to a massive burning fire. Right? I see this in $1 million companies all the time. Like, why'd you let it get so bad? Why'd you let it get so bad? Now we have this huge problem. You guys see what I'm saying? That makes sense? So, number 1, they need to be aware that they have a problem, but they need to really think that problem is a big deal. It's big, like it's risky. It has to be solved. So when you're qualifying, you have to look at that, okay? All right, qualifying market number 2, solution awareness. That's the second one. And this is where the expensive problem comes in. Because if you're selling a cheap solution, guys, or solving a cheap problem, chances are you're going to get the brain pickers. You're going to get people that they're all about the price, not the outcome. You know what I mean? Like, they're just going to be really hard to sell. When a solution awareness is when a lead is already looking for the solution. So this is where you guys can get higher level leads. How many of you here want higher quality, higher intent leads? Meaning, I don't need to beg you and convince you and tell you why you need this. You already know you do. You see what I'm saying? Big, big difference. Big difference in that convincing and trying to help them be like, want this. You don't go around helping people want what you sell. Like, talk to people that are actively already looking for the solution. So that means, let's look at health. That means this person goes to the gym, so they have a gym membership. They have a Peloton in their house. Those aren't cheap. They exercise 7 days a week. They have a nutritionist or a dietitian, right? They are, they have a personal trainer. Do you guys see what I'm saying? Do you think that's someone that's invested in their health and probably pay you lots of money to help them solve a problem? Yeah, probably. Versus what? The person who's overweight, eats McDonald's every day, will not get off the couch, and says, I walk around my house once a month. Who do you think is more likely to pay you to solve their problem? Right? Do you guys see what I'm saying? So solution awareness is you asking people, and we have good human behavior. My background, guys, I don't know if I told you, my background is brain science. I have 25 years of brain science tied to sales psychology. So I understand how the 3 parts of the brain that fire off in a sales conversation, I know how those work, and I know the order in which they work. So I know exactly what to say and when to say it in what order. That's what I teach you guys. That's those sales skills we infuse into everything we give you. All the word track we give you is backed by human behavior. I will tell you right now, you could take it to the bank. It works. It works better than any content thing you could ever do in the world. It is 25 years of brain science, human behavior, sales psychology, and it works. So when you're speaking to someone and you're qualifying them, you want to find out what things have they done and what are they doing to solve this problem. If you talk to them and they're like, I don't know, I read a book. Okay, that's not going to show you they're high on your buyers list. Okay, that makes sense for everybody? Okay, qualifying marker number 3 is decision readiness. And this is when someone has the readiness to say, my motto inside of our programs, I always say this, everything that you put out, and when you're in a conversation, here's what the other person you are talking to should be able to say. And this is what we call a decision. Yes or no, yay or nay, I'm in or I'm out. I send a 9-word email. I have my clients send a 9-word email once a week. Guess what it says? Would you be interested in blank, or are you still interested in blank? Guess what people reply with? Yes or no, yay or nay, I'm in or I'm out. Freaking simple. Simple, right? So here's what is not a decision, you guys. It's not a decision, maybe, sorta, kinda, I don't know, gotta think about it, gotta talk to so-and-so. That's indecisive. That is not a decision. A decision, yes or no, yay or nay, I'm in or I'm out. There's no other decision. That is a decision. So when you're talking to your leads on your buyers list, they should be able to say those words to you. Does that make sense for everybody? You're going to attract whatever you believe and whoever you're showing up as. So this is helpful for some of you guys too, to really step up into this, right? Become the person you're trying to attract, right? Decisions are yes or no, yay or nay, I'm in or I'm out. It's not maybe, sort of, kinda, I got to think about it and talk to so-and-so. So when you're talking to people and they're giving you those are those subtle little brain picker behaviors that are like, this person might give me a hard time. They might take longer to convert. They might not be ready. Make sense? Now, obviously, a lot of this comes down to your positioning. It's how you frame up that solution you're offering, and it's how you host the conversation, and it's the content that you put out that invites people to these conversations, by the way. Because your positioning attracts your people. Write that down. Your positioning attracts your people. Way, way back 25 years ago, one of my very first coaches was David Nagel. And the funny thing is, I was having a hard time. I kept getting these people that were doing the opposite of everything we're talking about here. They were just not ready and they weren't good buyers. And I couldn't understand. And he's like, show me the last piece of content that you put out that booked those sales calls for you, so I could see what you said. I don't know by word verbatim, but it said something like this. If you are struggling to get clients and you are looking to get your first 5 one-on-one coaching clients, comment below. That's what it said, something like that. And he highlighted on, like, in a Word doc with the yellow, he highlighted the words. And he said, so let me ask you this. You have struggling all through this message. You're talking to someone saying, if you'd like your first 5 clients, meaning they have none, if you'd like your first, so if they don't have clients, they probably have no money. He's like, everything you're saying here, and he highlighted, and it blew my mind because I didn't see that, right? I'm thinking, oh, my clients need help getting one-on-one coaching clients. He's like, it's the way you're saying it. So one of the big things that all of my clients would tell you if you asked them, one of the big things they would say is Anne will literally give you 1 or 2 words to shift in your messaging and your content will blow up. Your sales calls will overbook with literally 1 or 2 little words. It's not a burn it down, build it up. It's how you say what you say. It's not what you say. And that's human behavior. That's brain science. It's less about what you're saying and so much more about how you say it is what's going to pull in your people. If you talk from a place of negative and lack, you will attract negative and lack clients. That makes sense, right? We attract what we are in. If that's the language and positioning, you're not going to get people with money. You're not going to get people with a high buyer intent, right? You're not going to get those people. Okay, qualifying market number 4, a desire to change. If a lead is not only aware, guys, that they have a problem and they even believe that you could help them, right? But they don't really want to change. Part of what I want you guys to understand, not to geek out on the brain, but you guys will get this. If somebody believes a certain thing, thinks a certain way, feels a certain way, you are not changing that. You cannot make somebody want to lose weight. You cannot make somebody want to do the work that is required to reach their goals. You cannot make somebody ready. There's no amount of content. There's no amount of lives. There's no amount of discounts. There's no amount of continuing to lower your prices. There's no amount of bonuses. There is no amount of anything that you are going to be able to do that is going to make somebody want to change. And let me just be very clear. In order to get a result that you don't have right now, it requires something to change, right? Can we all agree on that? Right? So I always say, if nothing changes, nothing changes. Bottom line, if you want, like, to go from food stamps to $5,000 a month, I had to change. I had to change the way I thought, the way I focused my time, right? To go from 5 figures to 6 and then 6 to 7. Do you think I did the same things all the time? There's some things I did, but this right here is a constant upgrade. And the hardest part for the brain, guys, is change. Whenever you do something different or new or scary, your brain is supposed to keep you safe, and safe means sane, familiar, comfortable, right where you are. That's its job. If you do any studying on the brain, it will tell you 100% across the board, that's the only job your brain has, is to keep you safe. And safe to the brain means same, comfortable, familiar. That's it. And guess what? Our brains don't know good, bad, or right or wrong. It just knows what's familiar. And that's whatever you've conditioned it. So the way you think, the way you feel, the way you act, the way you respond, your habits, your routines, you created that. And that's what your brain knows. If you step outside of that, it's going to try to, like, tell you you're wrong, get back, don't do it, but what if? It's going to pull all that stuff up. So the people that you're talking to, that's what they're going through. When you present this awesome solution to their problem, and they want it so bad, and you both know it's the answer. You both know it's going to be the great next best step. But in their minds, they're battling comfortable, safe, familiar. Their brain is like, no, don't change. Don't, what if? And then they give you an objection. They pull back, and you're like, what the heck just happened? Do you guys see what I'm saying? We all can understand that. You're not changing someone who's in that state. Okay? So they have to change. They got to get to a place, you guys, where the risk of investing and doing the work becomes much lower than the problem they're having. So they have to say, oh my God, you know what? It is so much more riskier to continue to let this problem get bigger and bigger and go on and on and on for 4 more months, 6 more months, 12 more months, than it is to just make this damn investment and do the damn work to get the result, to change it, to solve it. But guess what? You can't say that to them and you can't do it for them. They've got to get to the point where they're seeing that themselves. They have to feel that this problem is too risky. I cannot go. So one thing I always ask my clients to and leads to ask themselves, and I would tell you guys, ask yourself the same thing. If nothing in your life or business, absolutely nothing in the next 6 months, if absolutely nothing changed, nothing in your life, your business, whatever your goal is, if everything stayed exactly as it is right now, as you sit here today for the next 6 months, is that a problem? Would that be a problem? Is that like, oh my God, that can't happen? Or is it, that would be okay. That would be fine. That's what you need to ask yourself that. You need to ask them that. And let them come back and tell you. You'll be surprised. A lot of people will say, it's fine if I just sit here for another 6 months. That's okay. I'll keep trying. I'll keep trying. That's not a ready buyer, you guys, right? You don't try to change anybody. Okay, let them tell you why they absolutely can't do this even one more day, let alone 6 months, okay? Okay, qualifying market number 5, they have to have the ability to invest. Now, I'm lucky. I do have a little bit of an advantage. Why? Because I teach you guys how to make money. So I do have a little bit of an advantage there, because if you're not making all the money you want to make, I can show you and help you how to make money. It's the only thing I do. It's the only thing I'm good at. Yay, big life problems over here. But that's not the case for everybody. So I'm going to speak to the general population, where helping people make tons of money is not your forte. Okay, so when I say that, if you're talking to someone and they're ready, but they're not able to invest, and when I say invest, there's 3 things they need to invest in: time, money, and energy. They have to be ready, willing, and able to invest time, money, and energy. So if you talk to someone and they're like, okay, fine, I'll pay you the money, but I do not have time, I am so busy, blah, 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 blah. Do you think that client is going to show up in your programs, get good results, and be a great client and give you testimonials and referrals and keep buying from you? Probably not, because they have all this time objection and this time issue. Do you guys see what I'm saying? Or they'll be like, I'm just so burnt out and tapped out, I have to protect my energy and I just can't do any more work right now, but let me sign up. I wouldn't let somebody in my program if they said that to me. If I knew that, you would never enter the program, because you have to be able. Here's the thing. None of you here, you're not going to find more time. It drives me crazy when people say this to us. I just need to find more. Wait a second. You have this magic way to find more time? Please give me some. Hello. I mean, Oprah would like some more time. Where are you getting time? Please show us. It's not about finding. You're never going to find time, because you're going to find whatever you seek. Okay? It's about making time. And that's you prioritizing the goal that you have and the work required to attain it. And nobody can do that for you. That is up to you to say, I am going to make the time to invest the money and put in the energy and do the work. I will make the time. I will move things around in my life. I will move things around in my calendar. I will delegate things that are taking up my energy so I can make time to do this. If you are not talking to a lead that has the willingness, the readiness, and ability to do this, I would not sign them in your programs. They won't show up and do the work. They will not have a good result. They won't have a good experience. And you're going to be like, why? Why are we doing this to ourselves? It's not a good coaching experience for you. Okay, does all of this make sense to you guys? What we're talking about? Does this completely Are you just like, wow, at like how different I want you guys to look at your leads and generate sales, and how I want you to work your list of people? This is so different, right? Than like anything else. And it's very, very deep, but I'm going to tell you, if you only do 1% of this half-assed, you're still going to get results far better than the million things you might be trying right now, half-assed, because we can't do all this, right? We only want you to do a couple things a day. Just 2-3 things a day. Double down, master it. I promise you it works. You will make money. But you have to make those commitments, right? You have to make the commitment, and you have to make the time, money, and energy to put towards it. It doesn't, most people say, well, how much energy and effort, Anne, do I have to put in to work your program? And I'm like, well, you're going to get what you put in. But honestly, a few hours a day, dedicated for, and that time can be spread out. You don't need to sit down and do all that at once. You could spread it out, right? I'm all about life. I take CEO week off every month. Sydney knows I am not here for an entire week every month. I've done this for years. I'm completely unplugged for a whole week every month. I take every weekend off. I don't work nights. I don't work early in the mornings. Like, I have super tight schedule. I'm off all US holidays, like a vacation time if I need it. And guess what? Sales still happen. Clients still get served. Content still goes, things still happen. Because I'm structured with my power hours. I plan in advance when I know that I'm not going to be around or something is going down or whatever. And because I have a repeatable sales system, it's only a few steps. You run it every day. We like to call it a sales machine, because it's like turning the power button on every morning, doing these 3 or 4 things, and money spits out, clients, money in the bank. That's how, like, visually you could think about what we teach you. There is no this path and that path and go this way and you could do that. There's none of that. None of that. And we keep you focused, because I know it's easy when you see yourself getting hit with this one says do this and that one made $1 million doing this and blah, blah, blah. You don't know the back end of all that stuff, and it can drive you crazy and drive your business into the ground. We, Sydney and I, we keep you focused. Focus on this. Let's do this. Let's get you here. We'll talk about that later, right? And I think a lot of you guys need that accountability, right? You just need that reminder, like, oh yeah, I don't have to do that. Oh yeah, keep doing this. It works. Stick it out. Does this make sense to everybody? Okay. Whew, that was a lot. Okay. Tomorrow, what I want to do, thank you. Okay, awesome. I'm glad that this is so valuable for you, and it makes perfect sense, because if it didn't, I would be like, what am I doing wrong? Okay, tomorrow is our final session. And I want to walk you guys through the power hour. Okay, now let me just prep you. It's not sexy. In fact, nothing I teach you is sexy. It's boring. It's over and over repetitive, but it makes you money. Okay, tomorrow's not the sexy thing. I gave you strategy yesterday. I gave you tons of strategy today. Tomorrow is really the power under it all, because you guys could try to run ragged doing a million different things. And what I want to do is show you how to put, it's a very structured but flexible process. I know a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to do a power hour. I don't want to structure. I want freedom, Anne. Well, freedom does not lie in chaos. Freedom comes from structure. And this is a very simple, it's a structure, but it's also flexible. We help you tailor this for yourself so that you can feel really good about the way you install it and set it up, and then what you're doing in those time frames. I do power hour every day, guys. I have $1 million business. I do power hour every day. I've done it literally for like 25 years. And I don't know what I would do without it, because I feel like I would be working 80 hours a week, running around like a fish out of water, or a chicken with my head cut off, and like all over the place. And then by the end of the day, being like, where are my new sales? Where are my new clients? And I'm exhausted. I help clients build sustainable success that is repeatable. So in Sales Accelerator, guys, it is our entry-level program. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's why it's $67 a month. We're teaching you the basics of generating sales. You'll have the skill, you'll have the basic system, and then we want you to graduate later when you're ready into the Sales Academy. You have to qualify for that, right? In the Sales Accelerator, we qualify you. We get you to those 5, 8, 10K months, okay? Then you graduate over into Sales Academy. You have to at least be making 5K a month. When you get into Sales Academy, we pour rocket fuel under this system right here. We amplify the buyers list, get you up to 1,000 or more. very simple, easy, very repeatable. We show you how to scale what we're teaching you in Accelerator, but it's a phase, it's a process. We brought people in straight into Sales Academy, and it's too much for them. They don't have the basic fundamentals, they don't have the basic systems, they don't have consistent sales, they have too much going on, and we don't want to do that, right? So what we're doing is we're inviting you into Sales Accelerator at an amazing founder's rate of $67 a month, right? And we're going to help you install what we've been covering here. If anything I've said here is like firing off for you guys and you're like, oh my God, this would be the place to go, because we're going to install this. And guess what? When you're done, you're like, okay, don't have those problems anymore. Make it consistent sales. I've got the confidence. I've got my message and position and offer dialed in. I got my sales system. Repeated sales are coming out, but I want to take it up a notch. I want to work less. I want to like pour rocket fuel. We graduate you into Sales Academy where that's all we're doing. Does that make sense, guys? So I really encourage you, like, you don't need another marketing strategy. You don't need more content. You don't need ads and funnels. You don't need a low ticket offer. You don't need a high ticket. It's whatever you want, right? Whatever you're selling at whatever price, we can help you sell it and make money. It's that simple. Sales is sales is sales. Strategy and marketing, guys, it's complex because it changes every day. And what works for one doesn't always work for somebody else. And no matter what strategy you guys are implementing, no matter what content you're putting out, you got to know how to sell. You have to know how to talk to people. And right now, the market is different. The way people buy is different. The way they engage is different. I study the market. It's my job, right? It's how I make money and continue to make money. So we're going to keep you up to date on that in Accelerator. We're going to let you know what's going on behind the scenes. We're going to let you know, hey guys, change this. Don't do that no more. Do this. We're going to let you know what changes we're making and why. And we're going to teach you the skills you'll have forever. Remember I told you guys yesterday you could sell real estate, lipstick, I don't care. Sales is sales is sales. You learn the skill, you'll never be broke. I could go off and sell lipstick, houses, cars. It don't matter. I know how to speak to people. I know how to sell. Right? You guys understand what I'm saying? This is much different than probably what you're used to, which is come join my program for this much and I'll teach you how to build a funnel, create content, set up your automations and sell a course or whatever. That's not what this is at all. Everybody get it? Sydney, do you want to come in with some final thoughts as we wrap up?
Yes. First of all, thank you guys so much for being here. I know this is so much information. It's like second nature to Ann and I, but to you guys, it's probably like fire hose to the face. Like, okay, can I have your notes? But hopefully you guys are seeing how much easier things can feel and will feel, and how much easier sales flow when you actually have a system in place. And that's really what we teach step A to Z inside of all of our programs, but you get the absolute fundamentals to sales inside of the Sales Accelerator. So if there were a golden ticket, it would be your buyer's list accompanied with the power hour. So many of our clients and people come to us and just say, like, just tell me what to do and I'll do it. Like, I just want me to know what to do and how to do it and how to say it, and I'll do it. It's not that like I'm lazy and I'm just hanging out over here. It's that I just need the step 1, 2, 3 and some templates to pull from, and I'm golden. And those are, if that like sounds like you, those are the clients that do the best. They're like, just tell me what to do. I might have a couple follow-up questions and I will go do it. Those are the best people for us to work with, who we love working with, because they just need the how-to, and that's what we give. So instead of waking up and pulling up Instagram, pulling up Facebook, pulling up LinkedIn, and you're just scrolling and randomly engaging and maybe DMing here and here and here, there's an actual strategy. You are working an actual list, your buyer's list, and then you're going through the power hour. So the buyer's list is the who, and then the power hour is the what to do, and then combined with our templates, what to say. And then you get Ann once a month to kind of go over that strategy with you, Q&A. And then you get me once a month to really like focus and implement together. And the implementation are all things that you can then go and just do yourself day to day. But when we're on here live together and I give you, exactly what we're doing today for the next hour, exact templates, you can get questions around the templates. I can help you tweak them. And then, like I said yesterday, it's really cool how in real time, like people will start responding to you, and then we can kind of game plan how to respond back to when people DM you. And I think you'll be surprised. Like once you see our templates, you're like, oh, like that's how that's supposed to sound. Like, oh, that flows a lot better than how I've been doing it. And then you just kind of work that muscle until you're able to confidently take on those conversations yourself. You will get there. But yeah, inside the Sales Accelerator, this is really what we're focusing on every single day. And what we'll do together on my monthly calls, on Anne's monthly calls, building your buyers list, working it with structure and strategy, and then moving those leads into actual conversations and sales. So
It's
yes.
exciting. We're really excited to bring this to the market just because I don't do low ticket. I've always been 5K, 10K, 20, 50, 100K offers. That's what I've always sold. That's what I've always helped my clients sell. Like, and it's not that is impossible still. Of course it is. We still have people buying our bigger programs. But the market has shifted. And what we've realized is nobody's teaching real sales. Everybody's teaching content, marketing, courses, funnels, automation, AI. Like no one is teaching sales. And it's like none of that works without the sales, right? And so we want what we teach to be accessible. We want you guys to be able to get in and make money, get results, build up your confidence, and then learn to trust us. Learn to trust that our process is real and it's working, it's proven, and I'm doing every bit of it every day. And then when you do that, we can graduate you, right? Then we can get you in the programs where we can take you guys across the $1 million mark, which is really, really exciting. But we realize that the majority of the market, even if they have the money for the bigger programs, really want to come in and get these foundations and get these skills and really build that trust with us at a price point, an investment that feels comfortable and safe for them to initially just get started. And so we are bringing this here. We're excited about it. You're going to see us sharing so many client testimonials and results because what we're doing in there is what's pulled out of our bigger programs that have been the fire under people's sales. We're not giving you the extra. We're literally just giving you those things that every client makes money with, and we're helping you build those. So I'm going to encourage you guys, if you have a question about the Sales Accelerator, send Cindy a DM. We're happy to answer. Send her a text, a DM, send me a text, a DM, whatever. Let us know. I mean, I think it's a pretty straightforward kind of offer, but let us know if there's something you are personally thinking about as you're considering this. We'd really love to see you guys in there. We'd love to be part of your journey and help you accelerate your sales. That's what we're here to do. Remember, tomorrow, same time, we'll send you guys emails, reminders for tomorrow's session. You don't want to miss the Power Hour strategy. It is kind of the fuel under this fire. Also, we will send out this replay. It's also going to be on the replay page that we created yesterday. Hopefully, all of you got that. We did email it out. If there's anything you guys are not getting, please let Cindy know. If you're not seeing our emails, if you didn't get the replay page, things like that, let Cindy know. We will fix it. Make sure you get those things. And all of that will be coming out here shortly for you. I will make sure you guys get that little visual as well. I know you guys want that. And I hope to see you in Accelerator, but we will see you here nonetheless tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you so much. Bye.